Hello, hello, and welcome. It's LaShonda Henry here, aka Success Sense, and we are once again inside the Setup for Sales Challenge. This time around, as part of the Fresh Start experience, my goal is to share with you some things that you can do to work on your recurring revenue, increasing your monthly via paid memberships and or simple subscription programs. So getting set up for sales is what this agenda is all about. Over the course of 7 days, I want to help you figure out which monthly mini is the right project for you. Ideally one, but maybe a few if you'd like to not only put together one offer, but build a bundle in the process. Again, this is all about you working on making sure that either you're creating your first or your best paid offer when it comes to subscription offers, working on building your list, and working towards everyday sales. So there are two ways for us to work on this Setup for Sales process, and I'm going to break those two processes down for you, number one. But of course, number two, hopefully you have had an opportunity to do a few things, including take a look at some of our Fresh Start prep sessions and dive into the paid memberships project audio series that I've put together for you. So even before getting into our day-by-day sessions here for Setup for Sales, hopefully you've had an opportunity to listen to and lean into some of the things that I already wanted to start sharing with you as part of the monthly minis project. So getting into monthly minis, I hope you have got a doc. I always say go over to docs.google.com to create a Google Doc where you can brain dump all your ideas. A notebook is fine. A Google Doc is even better, number one. Number two, I want to give you a quick and not so dirty overview of the 7 monthly minis that I've put together for you. And like I said, each of these have their own detailed audios that you can listen to. But the goal is that as we check in daily as part of this challenge, that you have the opportunity to learn a little bit more about these minis, see examples, and of course, ask me questions. Now, I'm going to go through these in a second, number one, but as I mentioned to you before, there are two ways for us to talk about the challenge, right? A part of this process is you being able to identify a project that you want to work on and then go through the 7 steps that I've put together here, being able to plan and prep an idea that works for you, number one, and then prep and produce that offer, number two, produce and publish your offer, have several days to work on that, publish it so that you can promote it, and promote so you can tap into your profit potential. That's basically a very simple way that I've put together the Get Your Digital Product Together 7-day experience. Now, as you know, the Fresh Start program is a 90-day experience, so you don't necessarily have to get everything done in 7 days. But if you've already identified a project that works for you, then you can start to jump into the templates, start to create your amazing, and then check in with me as we go through our daily check-in sessions here, okay? So this is one way to look at the process, number one, okay? Just coming up with your idea, working on preparing it, then actually producing it, recording it, putting it online so you can publish it and make it visible to your ideal customers and clients. Then, of course, once it's published, you can actually have something to promote and drive traffic to. Once you promote, then people consume the amazingness that you put together, and that is where the profit comes from, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. What? No. I said easy peasy lemon squeezy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I think that's how it goes. But that's number one, sharing the process with you. Let's go back to the breakdown, okay? So as there are 7 days in this challenge, there are 7 ways to have fun. with this process, right? One is to work on the mini messages digital product, right? Where in your efforts to create something that you can share that is a quality product, a digital product with your audience via some form of a subscription, you are sharing audio messages with your audience, right? Based on your interest and expertise and the kind of value that they're looking for, right? I've already broken down many messages as part of the full audio series, but we're going to talk about it again today. Number one, I'm going to share with you visuals. Number two, and as you know, today, templates officially released so that you can start the process of, as we go through each of these, testing up the templates to see which ones are the right ones for you. So, mini messages, number one, mini media, number two. What does that mean, mini media? Well, when it comes to digital products, you may have different types of digital downloadables that you could offer to people. Some of my clients have patterns. Some clients have, like myself, templates. Some have audios. Some have videos. Some have worksheets. You have something or several things that you want to offer to your audience in the form of a media kit of sorts, and then they get access to those downloadables on a month-by-month basis. So sharing monthly media, that's something that you could do. A great example of that is my template club, me offering downloadable templates every month, right? Or one of my favorite business besties, Afi, offering her patterns to her clients, right? So being able to offer people easy to access downloadables, media, number two, magazines, number three, you publishing your own brand magazine on a month-by-month basis, pretty self-explanatory, but like I said, you being able to access these templates and to work within them, that's what I want you to be able to do. Mini mentorship, giving people an opportunity to speak with you virtually, directly, right, in some way, shape, or form, but short mentorship sessions, that's what that is all about. Doing master classes where you're hosting, creating, recording, pre-recorded sessions, offering mini challenges, or creating a mini series that you self-publish. These are the kind of things that I will be speaking with you about as you figure out what's a good fit for you, okay? So today, our focus is two things. Number one, to kick off the challenge so that I can encourage you to listen to the audio series of the topics here that resonate the most with you. Hopefully you've already started that process, right? Listening to one or several of the 7 audios if you got access to the full Fresh Start experience, or it could be 2 to 3, depending upon if you're just listening to the intro Fresh Start Light, right? So depending upon who you are and how you're accessing this challenge, you may have anywhere between 2 to full access to all 7 audios of each of these broken down for you, number one. And then number two, like I said, my main focus with checking in with you each day as part of this challenge is giving you a few new ways to think about each of these and to check in so that you got some motivation and accountability creating your new amazing, right? Of course, also sharing with you templates so you can see what they look like on the screen and giving you ideas of what you can put together for your audience. So let's do it. Outside of the process, and like I said, just kind of giving you a quick recap of the monthly minis. Hopefully you've had an opportunity to dig into those in some way, right? If not, you're going to do that at some point today, right, in the next couple of days. Let's talk about the monthly minis again, okay? When it comes to messages specifically, the idea here is that we love listening to audio, right? You're listening to me now, whether you're watching live or on the replay side. We love being able to consume content where we're watching with our eyes or we're listening with our ears, right? So if somebody was listening to you, what kind of value could you share with them that's audio-based? Motivation, inspiration, encouragement, personal development, professional development, health and fitness, finance, current trending information. What kind of audio-based content could you offer to your audience, number one, and how could you offer that content to your audience in audio format, number two. In order for us to do that, I'm a visual girl, so I want to share simple visuals with you to help you with the process, okay? So, number one, audio. Is that something that thus far you thought might be a solid, simple subscription offer that you could offer to your audience? Number one. And number two, what kind of topics would you cover, right? How would you present it to your audience? Now, the first thing that you see here when it comes to monthly messages is an audio newsletter. Now, there are several platforms like Substack and Beehive that actually offer the ability, when you opt in to build a newsletter on those platforms, for you to integrate audio, right? I say the simplest way to go is, if you wanted to create an audio-based newsletter, is when you're sending out your text-based newsletter, you can include a link to an audio message that your audience can listen to, right? Not terribly complicated, to be honest with you. You could literally record your audio on your mobile device, or you could record audio on something like Zoom, download it, upload it to Google Drive, Dropbox, and then put a link into your newsletter for them to listen to. Now, if you wanted something more integrated, like I said, a little bit savvier, you could use newsletter-specific platforms like Substack or Beehive. But that, to me, when I think about this list that I've given you, is one of the simplest ways to, on a month-by-month basis, deliver audio-based content to your audience, okay? Being able to, not very techy, record your content and then upload it, give your audience a link to listen to it, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, right? Or easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, got it right that time, okay? That would be your option number one, okay? Option number two is an audiobook or a guide. Now, here's the thing about audiobooks and guides and things of that nature. When I talk about audiobooks, it's a little different from what you may think, right? So when you think about something like Audible and you're listening to an audiobook, someone has taken a traditional book and they've recorded all the audio from that book. Then you could go on something like Audible and listen. That's not really what I mean when I talk about audiobooks or guides, okay? Let me actually show you that in a second, because that is the highlighted template number one that I want to share with you, okay? The idea here is that you are able to create a digital ebook of sorts that is a hybrid of text and audio content. That's what I talk about when I create audiobooks, and I've been helping clients create this style audio offer for many years, which is why it's one of the signature monthly message templates that I have available to you. Number two. Number three for me is a library, okay? Now, I would say the easiest thing to think about when it comes to visuals as far as library of media-rich content is think going into Hulu or Netflix or Audible, right, where you can click and access different things, different pieces of content, click, listen, consume, okay? I am someone who loves to create content on WordPress. I love to create content on Samcart, which is where I have my courses. So you could use something like a WordPress or a Samcart if you use something like Teachable. And you could upload your audio, and when people pay you on a month-by-month basis, they get an access to your audio library, to your content. And that monthly subscription could include new audio that you produce each month, in addition to access to the archive of content that you've put together in the past. Now, here's a really great example of that. Think the Calm app or apps like it. I myself am an ASMR kind of a girl. Love, love, love to listen to ASMR. Definitely anxiety or nighttime sleep, it's the ASMR for me, okay? Those who know, right? But, there are lots of platforms on which you can listen to, the sounds of birds chirping, or when you're working and you want productivity to work for you, you can listen to lo-fi music or lo-fi. I always can't remember if it's lo-fi or lo-fi. And as many times as I learn it, I forget it. But again, there are lots of platforms, again, like the Calm app, or listening to productive music while you're being productive, that people value for a number of reasons. And being able to access a library where you can kind of pick and choose what you get to listen to, that is very valuable for many of us, depending upon your focus, right? Depending upon the goal that that person is trying to reach. So an audio library, number 3, audio check-in page, number 4. So I've created a series of check-in pages. I'm going to show you an example in just a second. And many of these check-in pages I built on my WordPress website. Love building these for clients. And I'll say, hey, this is what's going on today. Click here. They'll go to a web page where they can either listen to a video, they can watch a video, listen to an audio, or in some cases, a combination of the two. That's also something that you can do. You can create pages in which people can click and listen to an audio based on your recommendations. So, for example, one of my favorite is, giving people challenges. And I may say, hey, I want you to challenge yourself to create this digital product, like write this ebook. And then you'll go to a page and I'll basically walk you through the process of doing the very thing that I shared with you, right? Again, in audio or in video format. Of course, in the case of this, we're focusing on audio, right? So I create simple check-in pages that people can go, click, access the main content, whether it be audio, video, or a combination of the two, and then any additional links that I want to share, I'll put on that page as well, right? And then last but not least, being able to share audio, video messages. What's that? This is a simple webinar, right? But at the same time, you see my screen, you see my slides, you hear my voice, you don't see me at all, right? You don't always have to get in front of the camera. Literally, you can record your audio and then combine that with video. You can do voiceovers. You can use some really cool platforms like Wave.co or Headliner, where literally you can, again, combine your audio to turn them into video. You can even do that on Canva. And I've created a lot of templates, including the audiogram template, where you can use wave, animated sound wave elements, plus audio to make some very, very cool, interesting video that you can share with your audience. So a combination of you either taking your audios and making them videos, so they're a little bit more visually interesting, right? Or keeping it simple, just recording the audio and giving the direct link to your audience via some sort of a simple audio-based newsletter. These are some of the things that you can do, some of the things that I want to share with you as far as your options are concerned, okay? Now, hopefully just listening, you've been able to imagine what you could potentially do. But if you're like me and you're a visual girl, you're probably like, I need to see that. I need to see that on screen, LaShonda. So let's take a look at the template. Let's take a look at some of these examples. And then, of course, the goal here is to think about this Setup for Sales challenge in one of two ways. Either you're really just kind of focused on every day getting a taste of these minis, looking at the template, seeing if that is your thing, actually implementing, or if you from out of the gates know, I love ... idea, and you're going to work through the 7-day process of working on planning it, publishing it, prepping it, and going through all of it. The good thing is that those of you who plan on staying with me as part of the Fresh Start experience for 90 days, this is a rinse and repeat situation. So you can do one way of the challenge this week, kind of listen to the art overviews, get a sense of what you're trying to come up with, and then another week you say, you know what, for the next 7 days, I'm going to be working on creating this fill-in-the-blank product, okay? We've got 12 weeks to hang out, 12 weeks to play. Those of you who are just hanging out with me for the Setup for Sales Challenge, that's totally okay. 7 days with you. Hopefully you come out of this swinging with some amazing ideas, innovation, and the desire to do something new. Like I said, the Fresh Start Setup for Sales Challenge is one thing, so you might just be here for that. Or you can go over to citizensense.com/fresh start to unlock more. More meaning more audios, trainings, more visuals, more templates that you can actually use as part of this time with us together. Okay? So let's jump into visuals number 2, templates number 3. Of course, check in with me if you have questions or need any support. Power pause. Okay, so here is an example of creating a check-in page with an audio message. So here on citizensense.com/write this, you'd come to this page, which is all about Write This Book, Boss, an easy ebook project that you can do this week. And it kind of walks you through what the project is, number 1, and then you can click, press play, and listen to the audio message, number 2. I'm not going to press play right now, but of course you see the play button. You can press play and listen. And this is something that I built inside of WordPress, right? I've also built some of these pages that look not exactly the same, but do something similar inside of Canva so that you could go to a page and click a visual box that will not play inside of Canva, but will take you to an audio link that you can listen to on something like Dropbox, right? So I've mentioned before, side note, that there is several things going on with the Fresh Start experience. Fresh Start Lite has 3 templates, one for each of the first 3 projects that we're going to talk about, okay? Fresh Start Full gives you access to 21 templates, 3 for all 7, so you get 7 different types of monthly minis, 3 templates each for a total of 21. We would be on here forever if I went through all 21 templates every day, but I will pick one that I'm going to focus on, and then the others you can watch or unlock when you get into the library itself for the Fresh Start Lite or the Fresh Start Full. And of course, if you're confused in any way, you can check in with me. The one that is my old school tried and true, the one that I'm going to share with you now, is the Easy Offer template. This is one of my favorites that I've produced over the years. I'm going to put it in grid mode, right? So whether you have Fresh Start Lite or the full version, you have access to this template, and it is one of my absolute favorites. So this is what I call an easy audio offer that you would create and share with your audience in PDF format, where you can pick a cover, number 1. You can have a disclaimer page, you can have a welcome page, you can even have some main text. These pages here are strictly visual, but if you're giving somebody a PDF, right, let's say right here where it says click the player below, if you were to click this and then click the 3 dots, you could add a link. So my thing is that I upload my audios online. I upload it to Dropbox or to Google Drive. I prefer Dropbox. And then I put the link to that audio here. Sometimes, to be honest with you, I even upload to my WordPress website, right? But I think everybody could get a Dropbox or a Google Drive account and upload their audios there. Then again, you can come here. I like to do pretty much everything. Like, I like to click all the elements and make them links, as well as even the text, because I don't know if somebody's listening to my audio and they get to this page, what they're going to click. Now, I will say this. In today's society, everybody is QR code crazy. So outside of making these elements clickable and directing them to listen to your audio, you could also add a QR code, right? You could literally go to the apps section inside of Canva, and if you don't see QR code somewhere over here, it's usually over here where it says popular. You could search for QR code, literally put the link in and create a QR code, and then put that into your document as well. Save this as a PDF, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You can have one or multiple audios that you share, multiple messages with your audience depending upon what you've agreed to give them. So maybe you say, I'm going to give you a message every month, or I'm going to give you one every week. Kind of depends on what you're talking about and what you want to offer. So, for example, I was talking to a client about fitness, right? And how health and wellness professionals can share fitness routines and offer some recommendations. Or if you are someone who is a spiritual entrepreneur and you offer spiritual words of encouragement, daily devotionals to your audience, it really kind of depends on who you are and what you do and how frequently you want to be able to provide audio messages to your audience, okay? So there are several types of templates I put together, which is why in the full version of Fresh Start, for each of the 7, you get 3 to choose from, okay? This is one of the 3 options, okay? Let me show you some visuals of me putting end products together. And again, as you go through the templates and we're going through the experience live, you can always check in with me and say, hey, LaShonda, I've got a question about ... and I'll try my best to include those questions into our sessions. So let's go over to my Google Drive real quick, okay? So this is, remember I talked about monthly media? This is a great example of one of my monthly media templates. In this case, I'm offering audio content. So this is called the Audiopreneur Guide, right? And I'm like, hey, thank you so much for getting the Audiopreneur Guide. Here's what I'm going to give you. Here's audio 1, here's audio 2, here's your bonus 1, 2, and 3. So you can put whatever you want and they click the links. So a monthly media project, right? This is a good example of that, is you being able to offer either the same kind of media to your audience every month or different kinds, whatever you said you're going to do, and offering them that kind of information on a month-by-month basis, okay? Now, in this case, I created this media PDF to offer MP3 audios. So if I were to click on this, for example, they would be able to listen to, one second. So, as I mentioned before, the audio doesn't directly play in this because this is a PDF file. But if you click the buttons, then it takes the person to Dropbox. They could press play and they could listen to it, okay? Simplicity, right? Same thing if they wanted to download the Digital Dollars ebook. They click the link, they get to it, there you go. This is one way I like to deliver content. Again, easiest way, you record your content, and like an audio newsletter, you just put the link to the audio inside of the email. That's straightforward, pretty much, right? And if you did want platforms that have audio bells and whistles features for newsletters, then you could sign up to something that was like a Substack or a Beehive. Those are newsletter platforms designed to have many cool newsletter features like being able to integrate your audio. But keeping it simple with click link here, totally fine, number 1. Another type of guide for you to consider, let's go here. This is my Audiopreneur Guide, right? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, on one of the previous cycles of Fresh Start, I worked on this project as an example of what you can do using the templates I've put together, right? In this guide, I talked about if you want to be an audio entrepreneur, here are some great things that you could do to turn your audio content into digital products, right? And again, you see welcome page, right? Then you see, this disclaimer page, then welcome page, and literally I'm using the template that I've given to you, right? There's a start here message, let's scroll, and then again, these play pages where you could literally click the element and then be able to listen to the content. It's linked directly. Oop, I started to press play. Oop. Okay. So it's zoomed in pretty big, so I kind of have to scroll here. There are multiple pages. This is a 44-page document, right? So it's got a nice amount of content in here, number one. But if I wanted to, I could print a physical version, and then, of course, for these pages, as opposed to saying click here, I might say use this QR code, right? So that obviously you can't click a physical thing, physical book, but I could turn those pages into QR codes. Number two, I try to keep these really simple. So here's a little explanation of what an audio training would be, or what an audio course would be, or what an audio podcast would be. Very straightforward and easy, 44 pages, but an easy read for your audience. So could you put together some sort of audio book or audio guide every month? It could be honestly as small as, I would say, maybe 8 pages long, where literally you have a welcome message, you have a click here audio, theme for the month, PDF, you're done. You're off to the races, right? So a simple link, check-in pages, that template, we're not doing that here. As far as WordPress is concerned, all the templates I give you are Canva templates, okay, just to be clear. However, point being, I kind of wanted to show you the many ways in which I create audio and then offer that kind of audio to my audience, okay? Now, this is for those of you who have opted to get custom web work done with me, okay? So I have something called the Canva website, right? Canva pages, to be exact, right? And for some of you who've opted to the highest level of Fresh Start, I'm building out a whole Canva website for you over at sistersense.com/demo. It'll take you here to the demo page. If you click on Shop, for example, you'll see that there are different types of sections in Shop. One of them is this one right here, where there is a section for, here's audio offer. By the way, these are pages from that audio offer template I just showed you, right? And I'll go back to that in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, like that page. This page you're looking at here. These are pages from this template. Now, Fresh Start Lite, you get this. If you want to see the other types of templates, then you would need Fresh Start Full for all the audio message templates, okay? Because there's 3 in full for each type of monthly mini. Me just showing you this is an example of what I'd be working on for, let's say, for example, if you are one of the awesome entrepreneurs I'm going to be building a Canva website for in your shop, if you did want to showcase different audios, this is an example of putting together some sort of library that people could opt into. Now, in this case, it's a store, so you click and buy, but imagine something similar where they can just click and try because they've already paid to have access to a page you put together where they can see like an image of the audio, the name of the audio, and they can click and listen. Done. Okay, so another visual. This page is created completely in Canva. It is mobile friendly, and while Canva doesn't offer the ability for you to literally sell inside of Canva, right? But it does integrate well with links. You can easily add links to external pages, and then you can even embed audio in some cases, depending upon the platform it's on, or you could link to audio. Like you've seen here, a lot of what I do is just link to my audios within the documents themselves, okay? So don't want to get too far off tangent because I don't want to paralyze you with too many possibilities. But what I do want to do is show you visuals of what you can do. And as far as being able to create a monthly message mini, the idea here is that you are putting together these innovative PDF guides, one way to do it, or maybe creating some sort of a simple click here, listen to audio experience as a newsletter. Maybe you're working on creating an archive of audios. Maybe you do self-help and meditation, and you want your subscribers to be able to, whenever they want, go back and listen to their favorite audios from who? From you. There you go, right? So those are some examples, and those are some ideas for those of you who are looking to work on monthly messages. Now, you have full access to the whole paid membership project, listening to either 3 or 7 or all 17, depending upon which level of Fresh Start you signed up to, right? Listen to the audios. So in between what I'm sharing with you today, you pretty much should have had an opportunity up until this point to start the process of figuring out which of these monthly minis is the right mini for you, number one. And then, of course, always feeling like if you needed some clarity and support, you could reach out to me, email me, voice message, post in the group for additional support and direction, okay? So this is your opportunity to do one of two things, either to start diving into this one, take advantage of one or all the templates that you have access to in the library, or, right, this is also an opportunity for you to kind of say, hey, you know what, I like this idea, come with the next one, right? So either you have identified one project and you're going to start to prep and plan so that you work through the next couple of days actually putting an offer together, and or you take this opportunity to process all of the projects to identify which one or ones are solid fits for you. Either way, I am here to support you. We're going to wrap up with our first check-in Set Up for Sales Challenge Day number 1. Definitely keep me posted on your progress, ask questions, and as always, I'm going to do my best to point you in the right direction. So email me, sizzlesense@gmail.com, LaShonda@sizzlesense.com. They all come to me, right? Post in our Facebook group. Join the group if you're a newbie, firestarters.sizzlesense.com. And I'm going to do my best to continue to share some amazing Set Up for Sales solutions with you so you can work on your monthly minis and your recurring monthly revenue. Till the next one, take care. Bye.